Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? It's me, Paddy from across the Shuck, and another wee video today. Getting back to doing quite a few, and sometimes these are just what I need. These get my wee day a lift. As you know, I suffer from the old black dog, so I have to find ways of just coping with it, and this is one of them. And so, if it's too long for you, don't worry. Just go and watch something else. But I just fancy a chat. I got a new knife in. In fact, I've got a couple of new knives to reveal to you. But this is one, again, going back to me, this is me. Uh, about 4 months ago, I said I wasn't going to get any more Spydercos, didn't fancy them, they weren't changing, they were the same. The usual thing that I ramble on about, which is usually a lot of old twaddle. But anyway, in the last 3 months, I've added three more. This is the third Spyderco to my collection. So it's always the same with me. It never changes. But anyway, I got this one. I have had this knife, I would say maybe five of them. Yeah, probably at least five of this knife. And when I started getting when I got the other two new ones to my collection, I could not get this because this was probably the first major company that lent out to the UK following, and it's a UK PK. And these were the original ones made by a big company for this country in a modern knife with a clip, which everything with, when they weren't the norm over here. So I felt, I've got some of my collection. I have to have this back again because it's just iconic. And it is a fantastic knife. As an EDC knife, for what it doesn't matter whether you're in the UK or not, just as a knife, it is superlative. And it sort of belays the years that it's been about. Anyway, shall I just show you? Yeah, I'm sure you've all seen it before. So comes in the usual Spyderco box with all the little bump on the bottom of it. And this is it. And this is one, and I purposely bought this because it was in a steel that I hadn't have. Sorry, I've had it in a para three, but it was one of the plastic para threes, and I didn't like the knife, so it didn't stay in the collection that long. So this is in CTS BD1N, which is a really good steel. I found the steel on the para three was absolutely brilliant. Sorry, it's a bit dirty there. I'll give that a bit of a clean up. I've only just got it this morning, so um, it is fantastic. Got a lovely edge on it. And it's an iconic knife, especially over here in the UK, because of the grip. Again, it doesn't look particularly exciting, but the grip on this with this forward choil makes it ultra safe for no matter where you are in the world. You cannot close that on yourself. You just can't. It's super. It's got the wire clip, which I don't particularly like. But if you notice, this one compared to a lot of the other ones, it's a lot shallower. Like there's yeah, I'll bring this up to you. There's one of my ones that I'll show you in a wee second. Do you know, it's not, isn't that strange? I thought this one here was a lot shallower than this one. Let me just get that up to there to see. I want to see if it is. Oh, it is a lot shallower. Yeah, you can see that. It's a lot shallower than this one because this one I feel in my hand. It doesn't really hurt or anything, but I feel it in my hand. This one just completely disappears in my hand. It's in the fat down here, just disappears. Don't feel it whatsoever. Super comfortable knife. Now, I'm going to talk about this knife later on. So I got this because I felt as if I just needed it in my Spyderco collection as a UK knife. I mean, the other one I bought, I just brought this out and showed you. This is the Sage 1, and this one's in Maximate. This is in BD1N. And then I have this one, which is in VG10, which is the Dragonfly. So that's the Dragonfly, the UK PK, and the Sage in Maximate. But the blade, look at the blade length on this compared to the Sage. I mean, this is a better slicer than the Sage because it's thinner. You can see the blade stock. This Sage is a working knife. It's not that much difference, but in the slicing world, it is quite a lot. Geometry is the thing for slicing. So I'm really glad to have that in my collection. And it goes along with the last two that I'm going to show you in my Spyderco collection. I probably will do a review on that again because I want to use it again. It's a long time since I've used the BD1. I have the Kiwi, which are like hen's teeth now to try and get. It's another super little knife. I can't believe the blade on that, how long that blade is. Really good. And the Kiwi, which again is another, it's as big as the Dragonfly, the Kiwi blade. And my last and final one is the smallest knife in the Spyderco range. There you go, the wee bug. So there's 5 lovely Spydercos I've got in my collection. I don't particularly need any more because this covers the Delica, the Andella. You know, it's around that size. Really good blade length. For a little slicer, especially for an EDC, that is absolutely, it weighs nothing. Weighs absolutely nothing, that wee knife. Super EDC knife. And then you have the big Sage if I want to do any hard work. I'm covered completely. So really pleased. That's my Spyderco collection complete for now, because I'm probably going to move this one on. And I'm probably going to get, it'll not be a Spyderco, I wouldn't have thought, but there's a knife that I really have in mind that I want, but we'll see that when it comes. I probably will move this on. I'll do a full review on it first before I move it on. Anyhow, there we go. That's the Spydercos that I've got now in my collection. Let's get them out of the way. And this is the next thing I want to talk about is quite a strange topic, but it's confidence. I waffle on here and I come across as this sort of very competent knife collector and all that, when in fact, you know, I'm not. Anything to do with maintenance on a knife, I'm not great at. It's not something I excel at. It's not something I can't even speak now, that I can't sort of put into words. I find it hard to do, especially on an expensive knife, to do repairs because my skill level is not great. But I decided yesterday I was going to take the bull by the horns, and I really, really wish I'd have taken a video to show you. And it was on this custom knife. This is a Michael Duplessis. I bought it second hand. When I bought it, I didn't realize there was blade wrap on it. It was on it when it came, and then I stupidly opened and closed a good strong back spring on this, and I opened and closed it and slammed it down a few times, and blade wrap. It was terrible. I had a terrible, right just there in the blade, I had this terrible bit of blade wrap, which had not only dented it in that way, it had crushed the metal up, so it went up behind where the actual the dent was in the knife. This is an N690, so it took it all right, but I was too frightened. It went up, you know, it was probably only a couple of millimeters, but as you can see, I got that dent out yesterday and I couldn't be more happier. I made a nice job of reprofiling the blade again because I had to remove about 2 mil. And I know it doesn't sound like much, but it's quite a lot. But I managed to do it really tasty. And I don't think you wouldn't even know that there was anything missing. And it's back to a beautiful knife. This is beautifully hand ground blade. This horizontal is just beautiful hand ground blade. I mean, this was over £250 when I bought it. So it wasn't a cheap knife. It's my snub nose, I always called it. But I was sort of hiding the fact that I had this big dent in it. Anyway, yesterday I went to town and I spent a few hours just footering with it. And I had to put an extra choil in it because I'd taken it up and the choil was starting to affect the grind on here. You were getting a smile. So I took it right up, took the, let me get the light on this. There you go. I had to widen the choil up there, and the sharpening choil, I should say. And it is now beautiful, but look at that. The hand polished is just beautiful. It's so fine. Look at that. It really is fine. And do you want to know something? It has given me so much pleasure, the fact that I just done it, and I was going to send it away. I was going to send it over to Ashley and see if he could repair it for me. But do you want to know something? See, doing it myself, it has really given me. Now, do I recommend doing all the jobs in a £250 knife if you're as clumsy and a bit of a klutz like I am? Probably not. But it had lay for years, literally a couple of years like that, and I wasn't using it. I was bringing it out to shows sometimes, but I was making sure the light didn't hit on the dent on the photograph. I was embarrassed. But I'm not anymore. And just to show you, I always say you can cut fast, but this is what I'm behind this camera now. Look at this. I can follow a line all the way up that blade That is what you call sharp. I mean, anybody can do that. And like, you don't even hear it. It is so, it is so sharp. You don't even hear it hardly. But when you do little slow cuts, little curly cues, and anywhere you want in the blade, that's when I know a knife is sharp. When I can do that. Look at that. How perfect is that? So, Paddy is a happy boy. I've given myself a little bit of confidence to maybe do it again. And again, sometimes don't go by people by, you know, the perception you have of them. I don't have a lot of confidence as as a big person. Sometimes I still wish my daddy was here to do jobs for me. And I'm laughing about that, but it is something that it just but when I actually do it, I'm not just as cumbersome as I feel, and I'm so happy. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks because I know how bad it was. And to get it like this has just brought another knife back in my collection. And I'm going to use the heck out of this now. This is going to be part of my carry. I love this knife. It is so smooth, a lovely bulbous end, fits perfectly in the hand. Michael Duplessis makes a beautiful knife. And yeah, I want to give him a shout out. It's a gorgeous knife. I got it second hand, so I didn't know. Now, obviously, the blade rub came from when he made it, but we all makers make little mistakes like that every now and then. Maybe that's a bit kind, but it is. It's true. You know, sometimes it just gets away. And I mean, if you're the sort of person who regularly does this and closes it, you know, like Pete would do, that's fine. I'm not. I'm a klutz. I just slap it closed sometimes. And I know you shouldn't, but the nice thing is now, when I do that, I used to see a big silver shining light came back at me. Now there's nothing at all. It's just beautiful. So there you go. I don't know, a wee bit of confession about my abilities, but they got a real boost by doing this, and hopefully it'll lead to maybe doing a little bit more. There we go. Monday Madness video. I hope it meant something to somebody, but sometimes just giving it a go, biting the bullet, it works. And when you get it right, and I don't always get it right, and you don't always see my mistakes, but this one I'd hidden away. I didn't want to take it on because I was frightened I'd have to take too much and the knife wouldn't look good. But I honestly believe that just looks absolutely like brand new. It doesn't look like it's been shortened by 2 mils. That snub nose is still perfect on there. And the blade is as straight as I could keep it. And I am over the moon. Right, there you go. Paddy's away. Have a lovely week. This is a start of mine. I hope yours is starting as well as mine because I'm chuffed to nuts that I done that yesterday. And I'm really glad to have this back in my collection again. All right, take care, folks. Bye now.